Hello, I'm Tim Casey, and I've been doing live audio for professional bands and nightclubs for about 20 to 30 years. And I wanted to show something with the relationship between speakers and amplifiers that I'm not seeing any information on this on YouTube relative to car installs. And in fact, when I brought this to someone's attention, the response I got in return showed me that somebody was very stuck in a belief that doesn't have any basis in reality. Okay, if we look at this chart right here, let me back up a little bit. This is a QSC amplifier specification, and it's not specific to QSC and the relationship between ohms and total harmonic distortion. It's basically transferable to any amplifier. When you go from 8 ohms to 4 ohms to 2 ohms, in that direction, your distortion generally goes up, and I'm going to show you on here where it actually gives that as its specification. And the reverse also applies, and this is across all amplifiers. When you move from 2 ohms to 4 ohms to 8 ohms, your distortion will actually go down, okay? So if we look at the 2 ohm load, for example, which a lot of car audio installers try to get speakers at 2 ohms because they want to get the boom boom, well, I got news for them. If we were to relate what happens with the QSC amp to what happens in a car audio system, what they're showing here is that the distortion increases by 10%. Or I mean by 10 times, not 10%. Take a look at the numbers here. This is the superscript of the asterisk, and at 1 kilohertz, we have 1% total harmonic distortion. If we move to 4 ohms or 8 ohms, we get 1/10 of 1% total harmonic distortion. The difference being 10 times the distortion, okay? And I happen to know that if I'm doing live audio, I don't want to have anything to do with 1% total harmonic distortion. It's not a great fidelity, okay? In fact, it's terrible. Recording studios are down to something like 0.05%, 0.05%. So when you see 1/10 of 1%, even that's not as good as what some systems can get to. But the fact that you're dealing with a car audio system, I highly doubt that you even get these levels of quality. Okay, you might actually get 1% normally in a car audio system, but by following these standards, your percentage in total harmonic distortion is going to be moving from 1% to 5%, and it's atrocious. Okay, so and then one of the responses I got was someone said, well, your RMS is going to change. Well, let's talk about the RMS. This is a volume knob, generic volume knob. Nobody runs their car audio system at full volume like you're seeing here, okay? Most people run it about 50%, 60%, maybe 40%. If you change your resistance, so let's say you purchase a speaker and you deliberately ask for an 8 ohm speaker as opposed to a 4 ohm, okay? You might have to turn your volume up a little bit to compensate, but it's going to be a difference of 3 dB, okay? Because this is going to be a shocker to a lot of people, but when you double your power, you only increase your volume by 3 decibels. Hello? So the person that was all hot and bothered that by selecting an 8 ohm speaker to get higher fidelity, they were all upset with me because I didn't mention the RMS. It's redundant. It's a mute factor. It doesn't really matter, okay? If you want to impress your friends and say, oh, I got a 5,000 watt system, great, you know, but is it the best it could possibly sound? It's 5,000 watts at 4 ohms, 2,500 watts at 8 ohms, but your total harmonic distortion in this instance improves by 10 times, okay? And a 3 dB difference on a volume knob like this, let's say 12 o'clock is your normal average level. It's about, you know, you might turn it from between 12 o'clock to between 1 and 2 o'clock. There's a 3 dB change in a volume knob. And you can go out right now to your car audio system and pay attention to what is the maximum that it can go to. You know, mine I think goes up to, on the dial, let's say it goes up to 80 all the way to the top. I normally run it somewhere around, I think, 40, which is about 50% of that, right? So, and go check that for yourself, you know, see where you're coming in at, okay? And that's where you'll realize that this whole concept of, you know, I got to have the power, and I don't want to be running at these 8 ohm loads because I want to make sure I have a lot of power. Well, a true professional who runs professional audio like myself, where I had to actually rewire an audio system that was, they were running at something like a 2 ohm load at the high end. And so they had 2 horns on each side, and I wired them in series. That still makes it stereo, but each side of that amplifier was seeing an 8 ohm load. Okay, I dropped my power down by 50%, which only dropped 3 dB off the main volume of my maximum, but I increased my fidelity by 10 times. In fact, they actually had a QSC amp. Okay, so there you go, and that's all I wanted to present here. And I think this information is, it doesn't seem to be existing out there on any YouTube videos and car installs, and I just wanted to share this with everyone else. Thank you for watching.